आज ही डाउटनेट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनेट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
Diana is baking bread and the original recipe calls for 1.5 tablespoons of yeast and 2.5 cups of flour. Diana will use the entire contents of a packet that contains 2 whole 1 by 4 tablespoons of yeast and will use the same ratio of ingredients called for in the original recipe. How many cups of flour will Diana use? The options are option 1, 1 whole 7 by 8, option 2, 3 whole 1 by 4, option 3, 3 whole 1 by 2, or option 4, 3 whole 3 by 4. So, as per the question, the original recipe of bread calls for 1.5 tablespoon of yeast and 2.5 cups of flour. Okay, so the ratio of yeast and flour can be written as the ratio of 1 whole 1 by 2 and 2 whole 1 by 2. Okay, so writing down this information, the ratio of yeast is to flour can be written equal to 1 whole 1 by 2 is to 2 whole 1 by 2. Okay, so writing this equal to 1 whole 1 by 2 is to 2 whole 1 by 2. Now 1 whole 1 by 2 can be simplified and written as 2 into 1 is 2 plus 1 3, hence 3 by 2, and 2 whole 1 by 2 on the other hand will be 2 into 2 is 4 plus 1 5, hence 5 by 2. So 3 by 2 is to 5 by 2, and in this form 2 can be cancelled from the denominator, so we can conclude that the required ratio of yeast and flour should be 3 is to 5. Now the question also says that Diana will be using entire contents of a packet that contains 2 whole 1 by 4 tablespoon of yeast, and we are required to find how many cups of flour will Diana use. So let us assume that she will use X cups of flour. Okay, we have assumed that she is going to use X cups of flour, and it has been mentioned that she is using 2 whole 1 by 4 tablespoon of yeast. So the ratio of yeast is to flour can be given by 2 whole 1 by 4 is to X. Okay, where X is the number of cups of flours she will be using, and this ratio can be written equal to the required ratio of yeast and flour, that is 3 is to 5. Okay, now simplifying these ratios, 2 whole 1 by 4 can be written as 9 by 4. So 9 by 4 is to X can be written equal to 3 is to 5, and from this equation we can find the value of X. So we can write 9 by 4x. Okay, on the right hand side we have 3 by 5. So finally in this equation, taking x over to this side of the equation and 3 by 5 to this side of the equation, we can write that x equal to 9 by 4 into 5 will go to the numerator and 3 will come down to the denominator in the other side of the equation, and simplifying 3 and 9 cancel out, leaving 3 in the numerator. So we can conclude that x equal to the product of 3 and 5 is 15, hence 15 by 4, which can also be written as 3 whole 3 by 4. Okay, so we had assumed that the number of cups of flour Diana used is X, and we have found the value of X to be equal to 3 whole 3 by 4. Okay, so she has to use 3 whole 3 by 4 cups of flour. The answer should be 3 whole 3 by 4, and going through the options we can see that Option 4 is the correct option.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT जेई मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनेट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।